I say Ashe. Welcome, everyone, to Astrorisa Moon Talk, where all things sacred to Yamaja and Ashupa Hamun are discussed. We are waiting for our guest, who is Chief Alagba. We call him Chief Alagba. Chief Alagba is the head of the Ancestral Society of Oyotunji. He has over 30 years of experience within Ancestors, the Orisha, and Ifa, so he is initiated in all three. Chief Alagba has traveled all over the world, has done extensive work in the realm of the Ancestors and Orisha from Europe to the Caribbean, Africa, and back. So he is a very well-learned elder. And I am going to check to see if Chief Alagba is on the other line. So please bear with us while I go ahead and check that. It'll be just one moment and we'll be right back. Okay. Chief Alagba doesn't look like he has come back yet. Just want to let you all know this is Egungun Festival still going on. It started in late May and is continuing until probably another week or two, another week. And Chief Alagba, because he is the head of the Ancestral Society, he is also doing that work today. So he is trying to get here so that he can speak to you all about Egungun. So if you'll just bear with me one moment and we will check again with the other line. Please stand by. And I'm so sorry about that, folks. Chief Alagba is on his way. He'll be calling in a couple of seconds. So, again, please bear with us. He is in the middle of Egungun work. So, I'm looking forward to this conversation, as I know so many of you are. And I know you have a lot of questions. So just to give you the little format of the show while we wait for Chief Alagba to call in, we're going to do some quick questions when he comes in, and then about 30 minutes into the questions that we already have, then we're going to send to a little Oriki to Egungun, and then from there, if you all have any questions, we'll go into those questions. Chief Alagba is an excellent teacher and does enjoy conversing. So we'll see if we get a chance to get the questions in. I believe Chief Alagba is with us. Alafia, Chief Alagba, you're on the air.
Alafia, how are you doing? Ecuador.
Ecuador. I'm so glad that you are with us today, sir. I know that you're so busy and you're taking time out to speak with us on this most wonderful time celebrating their ancestors.
Ashe.
Ashe. So, with permission, sir, may we begin conversing with you about the ancestors.
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, you're breaking up a little on this end.
Okay. I'll try to dial in. If I need to, I'll use another phone. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me, sir?
I can.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's just start in with some of the questions about the ancestors.
Okay.
Okay, so how did Egungun veneration come to the Yoruba people?
Well, it depends on who you ask in that question. Ancestor veneration, from our best estimation and our research, has shown that there are three, at least three lines that talk about that. There's the one with the history of Ijimeri or Edun, the red or brown monkey. There's the story of Oya, or Oya Tapwa, bringing Egungun to the Yoruba from Nukwe. There's Odu Ifa that speaks of when the world was created, things still was not stable, meaning society was not stable, and Olodumare, sent the Ebora, the citizens of heaven, the spirits, as it were, to the four corners of the world to make things stable, meaning social society. So you can take your pick. But from that regard, most African people have a veneration system, whether or not they call it a gungun or they call it whatever they might call it within their cultural context. Most African societies have a ancestral veneration or ancestor worship system. So the Yoruba, as we said, you can take your pick of those three, and I'm sure there are many others. The one about Edun speaks of in ancient times when Oya, if you will, or Oya type energy, or a female who lived in the Afin, went on a walk into the woods, and she was we don't want to say raped, because that's a very negative word, but the red monkey or the brown monkey became familiar with her, or he knew her in that carnal sense, and she became pregnant, and she later went back into the woods after she had given birth and tricked the monkey into trying this tactic again, and she caught him in a trap, and he stayed there and died. Then the young issue of this relationship was not able to have children. He had several wives, and some say this was a Shango type of figure or Shango image or energy, and he went to the diviners, and diviners told him that he had not performed funeral rites for his father. So he went to his mother to ask, well, why wasn't this done, and how do we go about doing it? And she told him the story about the red monkey, Edun, Ijimeri, and he went back to the Igbo, the forest, gathered up the bones, and had them placed in a large cloth, draped, and they had a big parade. And one of the stories say that a large cloth is the glory of Egungun. So from that point of view, then we could say that was the start, so to say. We do know also that the Yoruba are, they say, an enemy of all the world. So there was a lot of war going on in ancient times, and there were conflicts between the Igbo, the Yoruba, the Nukwe, the Yoruba, so forth and so on, and Oya, the Oya energy, Tapwa, was captured in one of those situations and brought the ancestral rites with her when she came. So, depending on which story or which brand like is the story you can use. But there are many roads to ancestor veneration, we'll call it.
Okay, I say. And so these different stories, may I
You're breaking up now. I'm not hearing you clearly.
Okay. Let's see if you can hear me better. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you now.
These different stories, are they
breaking
coming
up
from...
again? I'm not sure if it's my line or your line, but you start talking and then the maybe it's the modulation or whatever, but I hear maybe every other word.
Okay, I'll say it slow. Is the stories coming from different towns?
Are these stories coming from different towns or regions?
Yes.
Was that the question? Indeed. So, as I said, depending on the brand you like or what area you came from, will be just like there are many creation legends or myths or histories or how the world came to be. So the same thing would apply to ancestor worship or ancestor veneration.
Okay. Would you? Why is it important for people to venerate their ancestors? How does that help them?
Why is it important? Wow. For many reasons. Of course, we do know that we are all part of a family or lineage or clan, and to venerate our ancestors is part of the social or living process. As we said earlier, most, if not all, and we hesitate to say all or never or use those very supreme words and using definitive words in saying anything, because all you need then is one exclusion from that, and that shoots your argument. But most civilized people venerate their ancestors, and they do that because the ancestors are part of our family. The ancestors are those who came before us. So it is key on many levels to venerate that which came before you, because whatever you are today is in part due to what you were or what your ancestors were in the past, and what they were in the past and what you are today, and will in part determine what the children would be in the future. So I mean, and that's on many levels. Color of eyes, what race you're part of, family traits, because we carry the DNA of our ancestors. So when you venerate your ancestors, you're not only talking about those people who you knew in life, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, if you were lucky enough, or they were lucky enough to live long enough for you to know them, aunts, uncles, great-aunts, great-uncles. We just had the pleasure of celebrating our clan yesterday, which is in part why we were a little late this morning. We were doing a little cleanup this morning, and then got sidetracked on the time. But so this allows us to celebrate our own DNA, our own family genius, our own proclivities to life and within life. So it is essential in that regard, because if you disrespect ancestors, and we argue on many occasions, we argue that the reason why we're on this side of the water, as one example, rather than in our indigenous homeland, is because we forgot or took lightly the worship of ancestors or the veneration of ancestors, and they're as we said, they're could be just one generation removed from us, so they still carry some of those human traits, even though they don't have a physical body. They still carry some of they like things, they don't like things. So, for instance, when people want to get married, we ask the ancestors, is this a match? Will this be a good couple? Because it's not a marriage is not just the joining of two people; it's the joining of two clans. So, if you overlook the ancestors, it's just like a person. If you've done something for someone in life, and they just disregard what you did or don't appreciate it or say anything, then of course you might get a little peeved at them.